Alright, got home, what, like 5 p.m. yesterday? Not even 24 hours later, back on the streaming grind. What's going on, guys? Early stream today because there is a cold front coming through, and as stated in the community tab post earlier, if you didn't see that, the boss, aka Kyla, wants to be in the woods early. We're gonna go up to Mom and Dad's and hunt. Maybe get a chance at the Bladed 9, who knows? It's also muzzleloader season, so we'll probably have one of us with the gun, one with the bow. Maybe we can get a doe and fill the freezer. All the things. Anyway, that do be the reason that we're streaming right now, and I don't think we're gonna hunt down here, so let's get out of here. Congrats on the big buckaroo. Thank you, man. I need to say a huge thank you to Bottom Boy for having us down for all the prep work and getting everything ready to go, and this isn't gonna make a lot of sense, but literally for just showing the trail camera pictures, because the buck that I shot was one that was on trail camera, and I cannot put it into words right, but as soon as I saw it, I just knew that was gonna be the one that I would encounter, and when he showed up, I knew what it was. There was no hesitation. Everything worked out really well, and yeah, ended up getting my first buck with a bow on film. Had one other bow buck like 6 years ago, so I can't wait to show you guys that. Windy as heck here. It's pretty windy here too. I don't know if that's the reason that we're dropping frames like mad. Hopefully that stops. I just saw that. I don't know. Maybe my internet's mad at me for not using it for an entire week. Should do some turkey hunts, like real life turkey hunts, or in game. Anyway, we'll try to start covering some ground here. You love when you bring your car in for an oil change and tire rotation and they find oil leaking on the bottom of the car? That is not good. My truck has oil struggles as well. I don't know if it burns oil or leaks it just real slow, but always got to keep an eye on that. What's going on, Hatcha? Watching this in school, just don't get in trouble. That's all I ask. Feeks, am I saying that right? What's going on, man? Welcome on in. I just remained, maybe joined. Love your YouTube channel. I want to go 60 years old. I also want to go 60 years old. I'm not sure I'm understanding that part correctly, but either way, I appreciate you, man. What part of the map? Right now we're in the southeast. Gonna try to maybe go like this way. The last time that we were out here, I tried to just take a different route than I normally do, and it seemed to work, so we're gonna do that again. How's the IRL hunting been? So in PA, everybody except my dad is having some struggles. My dad's got a buck and a doe already. In West Virginia, which is why there's no streams last week, I was able to get a pretty nice buck. I don't know how long before the West Virginia trip it was. I'm gonna say it was within 2 weeks of the trip. We were talking about just real life hunting on stream. I don't know what, spurred the conversation on, but I was saying like I don't have like a really nice 8-point. I've got a couple nice 9s, a really small basket 8, and one that would have been a nice 8 that had broken off like half of its antler, which is just a 6-point. Go down to West Virginia, only there for 2 days, smoked a really nice 8, so that worked out good. Are you gonna get it mounted? It was, if he was 4 and had basically the exact same frame, but what additional mass and tine length and stuff would have come with being another year older, probably I would have got it mounted. As is, I decided to go for a European mount. My brother does those, like his little side business thing, so, try to support him and help him out by getting a deer when I can. The one last year, obviously, I couldn't have him do a skull mount of, but this one I will. The Steelers won somehow. Yeah, so, okay. The drive down to West Virginia was during the Bills game. I was so excited. I was like, dude, Kenny Pickett's going to get in here. It's not, the Steelers aren't as bad as they look. And oh my lord, did they get absolutely smacked. What was it, 38-3 or something? So, then I see, whatever, Saturday night, that the entire secondary's not playing. And we have a 5-hour drive home. I was like, no, I had a good trip. I'm not letting the Steelers suck and ruin my trip back. So I didn't listen, but I followed it really closely, and I kept on seeing like it was close, and I was like cheering on Kenny Pickett even though I wasn't watching. Turns out he wasn't even, he led a couple scoring drives, but Trubisky gets in there because Pickett's concussed, leads a game-winning touchdown drive, and then, well, I guess you could call it that, and then ends up running out the clock with the, what was a 3rd and 16 conversion and a 3rd and 11? It was nuts. What was a missed opportunity? This thing. If I would have completely missed it, that would have been a good missed opportunity. Got my first deer with a bow last weekend. Nice, man. That is one you will never forget, I promise you that. How do you have so much money? I have, in this game, 5,750 hours, and it's gotta be darn near 50k kills. It may be over. Get one more to add to the total, and then we'll go and look. What are you hunting these days in real life? Yeah, whitetail. Whitetail's my main focus. I had a, maybe for 2 years there, a period of time where I was really thinking I was going to start to lean into hunting other species, pronghorn elk and stuff like that. And while I still intend to do hunts for those types of things, I think whitetail are going to be like my main focus. Getting to go out of state, getting the buck in West Virginia, and now like this opportunity that I've never had in my 15 years of whitetail hunting. I can shoot 2 bucks in the same year because I got one in West Virginia. PA has a 1 buck limit. It requires you to be selective, I guess. And, you know, my dad shot one, I think it was October 4th. And he's, ever since then, he's been like, you know, questioning, should I have shot that? Now I'm going to miss the rut. Now I'm going to miss the fun of rifle season. And, like, I totally get where he's coming from. So, basically what I'm getting at is, in the future, whether it's West Virginia, whether it's Tennessee, whether it's, you know, maybe Illinois one day, I think I'm gonna forever hunt a ton of whitetail nonstop. You a Steeler fan? I am, yes. Wish I could forget though, got up to it and it ended up being a button buck? It's no big deal. I mean, especially for your first bow kill, you learn so much, like in those early opportunities, I guess I'll call them. I remember the first deer I ever shot with a bow was a doe that I ended up hitting through the liver, and we actually didn't find it. I think we made the mistake of pushing it too much. So that was a quick lesson. Next one I think I missed, and then the third one ended up being a doe that I got at like, I don't know, 20 yards or something. The fact that you got that one, you'll take that and be able to learn from, you know, everything that went into it. Steeler fan from New York, nice. You know, this is the first time in like, oh boy, 10 years, 15 years since being in New York. It would actually, if you were a fan of the hometown teams, Giants or Jets, you'd actually be better off. Actually, it's not even going to be 15 years because the Steelers were good at the same time the Giants and Jets were. Anyway, I missed 8 before it. At least you got one. Only up from here. Can we get a 10-minute breakdown how you feel about the Steelers season so far? Boy, could I go into that subject. They still can't win without TJ Watt, even though they finally broke that curse. They finally did it yesterday. I think Cam Hayward's getting old. That sucks. I think Kenny Pickett's legit. And I think Matt Canada sucks. That's a 10-second sum up, because you just can't... The play calling is so unimaginative and stuff. It's like you look at the way that Andy Reid gets people open, or the way that Sean McVay gets people open. Like what Sean McVay, I was just watching the highlights today of that Chiefs-Rams game that was like 54-51. What he was able to do with Jared Goff, like, you can do stuff like that with Pickett. He's perfectly capable of that. Football talk, hey, I'm just here to pass your 6-hour, whatever you're doing, data transfer, some. Canada sucks. I was kind of excited, like the idea of him coming in from Pitt. Oh my god, yes! Come get me. Oh, my thing's not on. How long has that been? There we go. And me. I'm gonna try to... Come on. Do your Velociraptor thing. I don't know if those pictures were good. You're doing great. Thanks. Do they ever stop? That's my real question. Why is it attacking and not flying away? He's very determined. I want to get like a good picture. What if I back up when he finally decides to go full smoke mode? It's the greatest thing that he like runs away and he's like, no, I'm not done. Now he might be leaving. No! I wanted you to end me. Lame. Subscriber for 7 years. That is all of the years. I appreciate you, man. All that to lose. Actually, we lost a good bit of health. Was it only from that? I think it would have been. It would have been epic if it was a diamond. I gotta get a level 3 to attack me one day. It does damage? So, they haven't updated Call of the Wild, right? Since the handgun pack? Because I remember the first one that attacked us, which was also on stream. I've only been attacked on stream, interestingly enough. That one was... It's a max weight track. It did like a sliver of damage. It might as well have not done anything. That damage was enough that if you had already fallen off a rock or something, it could kill you. The new ones, Kylo, or the ones that were already out? Makes me think of vanilla wafers when you say that. Following you from Alaska? That's cool, man. Are you just visiting, or are you a Alaska resident? Because that would be really cool. Want to put camo in a new bin? Do we have a new bin? Why did they love me on stream and only on stream? Okay, bye. I'm gonna try to time this. Get a good picture. What the? You guys are lame. Can't even spot it. Well then. I guess that's not gonna do what we want. Is that alert gonna happen? YouTube's been odd with the member alerts. Zaggy, thanks for the 47 months out of the way. That is almost 4 years. That's a long time. Stole even more of my money. Hope you guys are good. Still can't find that I was gonna say unsubscribe button, unmember button, maybe. Either way, I appreciate it. We're doing well, man. Hope you are too. Just got this game yesterday and found right away looking for tips. Yeah, when I remember getting started in the game, there was just a lot of stuff that I felt like the tutorial didn't cover that well. So, hopefully, between, tutorial videos and beginner series and stuff, that can help you to get started on the right foot. What's going on, Danklord? Camera shy caper? I guess he just didn't want his picture taken. I didn't even look, because the one... Let me go on Steam and see what they look like. The second one's not bad, but it's through the, red screen damage thing. Maybe we'll use it for something. Found you? Yeah, it's close enough, Dylan. I think I, for the most part, understood it. When I read something on stream, it's like... read it, say it out loud, and then basically forget what happened, so I'm pretty sure I understood where it was going. With guys like you and Scarecrow, it's easy to get started in this game. That's good to hear. Like I said, to be 100% honest, when it came to Call of the Wild, when it initially came out, I was all in with Classic at that point. I don't think I was doing daily content yet, but 3 or 4 Classic videos a week. And, I bought Call of the Wild to do content on it, and I wasn't really a big fan of it, just because I didn't understand it that much. So I was just trying to, make some videos because I knew people wanted to see it. It wasn't even so much because I was enjoying it. Then eventually, when I got to understand some of the mechanics and how to find animals and all that, it became one of my favorites. That game was interesting, Kyla. I have watched some of the highlights, not all of them yet. I do want to watch the entire thing because that was a lot of scoring. What map we are on Revontuli Coast today? Have you ever really done much bear hunting in real life? Just wondering if you might have any tips to get into. I've never hunted bears, ever. The way that bears are typically hunted in PA is just not my favorite. It's, hold on. Try to focus on shooting things. What a shot. There was another, and they should roughly go the same direction. That'll do. And a third, maybe? Maybe, possibly. There he is. That is similar estimate. Did that? Oh, that did work. Okay. Anyway. So, the way that people mostly hunt bears in PA is by huge drives, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. so I just never really got into it. We had a bear on trail camera this year, and I thought about getting a bear license just in case it would just come by in that brief window that deer and bear seasons align, but I ended up not doing that either. That's not a bad one. What's going on, Mel? What gun are we using for the grouse? The 16 gauge. I hate drives. I don't like drives for bears because you'll probably know, because I feel like you always know all of the like specifics when it comes to the regulations. Is it a 25 party limit? It's something like that. So you get like 20 drivers and 5 sitters, posters, whatever you want to call them. That's just too much. Like 2 people driving deer to 2 other people, I'm perfectly okay with that. I don't like the size of most bear drives. It's probably not even most that I grew up around. This stream will be my background noise of raising the last of my venison. Ooh, nice. Early antler list starts on Thursday. There you go. We have, I think I'm gonna have to change my bitrate because we're trying real hard to drop frames. It's trying its absolute best. I might make it a little lower just till that chills out. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it didn't just completely die. It's really trying to. I blame the wind. Mel, thank you for the 15 months, by the way. I didn't even see that come up in chat. I don't know why that's hiding from me. Anyway, our similar season, early muzzleloader, started Saturday, so it is freezer filling time all around, it seems. Be cool if rabbits weren't aggressive in this game. Just randomly, like, kicked in the back by a rabbit. Is that where that ended up? I saw they have a GoFundMe for the thing. They make like $150 million in athletics revenue every year, and they have a GoFundMe for a new goalpost. Early flintlock, we going? Oh, I forgot that was a thing we were gonna try to do. Let's see, like, what days might work. I can't promise that my dad's not gonna be like, dude, you're leaving for Tennessee again. You gotta kill deer, but I shall see. Did they take them both down, Kyla? I thought it was just the one. I guess we'll run a little bit. It'll be a little blurrier since I lowered the bitrate, but should be alright. Have you ever been dog hunting? Other than one time my friend got beagles and we attempted to, before they were, you know, trained or much of anything, we attempted to do a little bird hunting or rabbit hunting and didn't find a single thing. No. LeBron James, absolute champ, coming in with the super chat. What's going on, man? Thank you. The lodge does not do justice for the black grouse. You can't see that greenish tinge with his feathers. Can you not? I don't have one in there. I have a leucistic one, but I don't have a diamond like the common variation in there because the only level 3 I've seen just decided to troll and make me sad. Need to go on a real hunt with you with dogs? Maybe for birds. Rabbit hunting with dogs, if the dogs, my dad had, I think they named him Speedy or something like that. They had a rabbit dog that would be literally right on the rabbit's butt the entire time. And it was like scary to try to shoot. And I don't even want anything to do with that. That leucistic's epic though. The way that it showed up, like it was just there in the distance and we just yeeted like a 70-meter shot or something like that. That's what made it neat. I always like the unexpected when it comes to diamonds or rares. Like when you don't see it from a distance and it's just there all of a sudden. Speaking of, what was that? One of them looked really light. I was taking a drink, so maybe it was just coincidence? I guess, unless there's still one on the ground. You'd like a leucistic, please? What did you just get? I don't know if it's in a video yet, but I thought you had something good. Oh, I know what it was. I won't spoil it, because I don't know if you have that video out. Can Xbox players play with PC players? Unfortunately, no. I think that would be, you know, huge for the community if that could happen. Second Extinction is cross-platform, and best I can tell is like a smaller niche game. But it's Avalanche Studios, you know, like you'd think that if they can do it, Call of the Wild can, but I'm sure they have their reasons for why they haven't. Not in the video yet. I'm glad I didn't just blurt it out and say, because it's pretty cool. I don't want to spoil it. Not that I didn't narrow it down with what I said, but you know. Second Extinction's top tier. I'm looking forward to that release. They pushed it back, right, to November sometime? Depending on what works, Kyla, I was thinking, like, you know where I back the truck in to load it or unload it for longer trips? Somewhere over there. Any dimes so far? No diamonds. We've had 2 Caper Kayleys go aggressive and attack, though, which, quite frankly, is maybe better. In the living room, it should fit. I think it's 6.5 foot, and the ceilings are 7.5 foot, so room to spare, really. How do you get to look through the scope and highlight the animals? That is a skill. Maybe try to get this guy. It's a skill that I think is just about maybe number 1 or 2 that I would say I can't live without in Call of the Wild. So, get this guy, a little silver. In your skill tree, if you go into the ambusher section, top of tier 2, sight spotting, that allows you to do it. Normally, like just the way that the skill point breakdown tends to be, you gotta be like level 21 to 24, 5, depending on just like how you spend your skill points. If you're at least that level, you should have enough to get it. And like I said, makes a huge difference. What's going on, Christian? Jurassic World Alive is getting an update tomorrow? I'll be honest, the entire week we were in West Virginia, I barely played it. Much like I talked about in the West Virginia episode from 2021, it was like a week of just worrying about hunting, like every morning except for 2, and one of them was a day where... Excuse you? I thought someone was running a chainsaw outside. This little absolute doofus is sitting below my chair with a toy in her mouth. I don't even know what she wants. Anyway. What was I saying? Right. Will had something to do the one day, and I think the other day it was just not good weather, but it was all hunting focused, and I barely even opened the game, so looking forward to that. Could you guys hear Shadow doing that, by the way? Are you going to whitetail ground again? Never say never on that one. Like, I'd like to. I'm also pretty happy just having like one great one. At this rate with the bears, who knows when that's going to be done. Shadow cam, please. At this point, I'm going to have to get... Maybe I'll get Kyla another webcam for her videos, and then I can use the old one for a shadow cam. Maybe. You should reboot the 22 series like you did with the Cape Buffalo a few years back. Yeah, maybe. That could be cool. The game has changed a decent amount since then. So I don't think, I could be wrong here, but I don't think you can, you know, have that result of, was it 79 shots? Something like that? I don't think you can get that many hits anymore. I think the ballistics have changed to where they're just going to die faster. Could be worth a shot. Do you get burnt out playing this game so much? The way things are now, I really don't. There was a time definitely when I would get burnt out. When I lived in my apartment, like, I didn't have anything better to do half the time. So I would just, you know, after dinner, say that was 7 p.m., something like that, I'd just be on Call of the Wild for like, you know, the next 6 hours or something until I went to bed sometime early in the morning. Probably more than 6 hours. 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever it was. But now with, obviously I have stuff to do around here with taking care of Shadow, and I can just go outside whenever I want, which wasn't really an option at the apartment either. That coupled with the amount of games we played. Now we have Call of the Wild, Classic, Way the Hunter. It's enough that I'm really never playing too much Call of the Wild to allow me to get burnt out, quite honestly. What rifle for the whitetail there? That was the 30-06. I don't know why that looked huge at first. Speaking of 30-06, that is what I gotta use here. Either gonna be too low or perfect. I don't know how far that shot was. Probably too low. No, that's gonna work. Cool. Aggressive. Yes. We've cracked the code. Just don't hunt them. How about the Steelers win yesterday? Dude, I seriously can't read this team at all. I don't know if they're lucky or... I mean, that's just a classic Mike Tomlin win. It's the Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges, you're all over again. Team's probably not supposed to win, and they just do. Come on. There's something bug with that, and that sound comes out of the left headphone. Oh, that was lame. I thought it would still jump at me. But, it's cool they have, like, an aggressive sound. What if I do this? I don't know. Hi. You leaving me? Oh, you're still here. That shiny fan just really sells it. Are you leaving? Now you are. No thanks. I love that noise. Do they make that noise in real life? I assumed it must have been. I don't know where they got the sound, but it almost reminds me of like a chamois call is probably the closest thing I can equate it to. Oh, nice, Alex. These angry turkeys upset about Canadian Thanksgiving. When is that, like, soon? I know it's before American Thanksgiving, but I don't even know when it is. Ravens choked against the Giants? Dude, I don't understand actually any of the teams in the AFC North. Ravens can't hold a lead, which is the least Ravens thing ever. You think of any of the recent years, the one thing they could do is play with a lead. Oh, can we please get that guy to go aggressive? I want to blast an aggressive Caper Kaylee mid-attack. We'll see if we can. I'm going to go for the same approach that we went for on the Moose, the last one that went aggressive. Shoot the bear and then see if the Caper Kaylee comes and gets us. Anyway, though, what they can always do is get a lead and run the ball and win. I can't understand, like, what's going on. Diamond Angry Burb Isaac Sights, if they will go aggressive. Hopefully they will. You're dropping all the frames, it's making me sad. Okay. Not bad. That model change, though, they are just a little bit better. That makes a heck of a difference. Okay, bird is right by that guy. Walk over here a little bit. Anything big or rare yet? Nothing to this point. We're going to attempt to get this level 3 Caper Kaylee to go aggressive. It may or may not work, but worth a try. If it doesn't go aggressive, we'll track it down and eventually get it. Everybody cross your toes. Bear dead. Bird, no. I wanted you to charge me. I mean, we could just plink it with a 22. I really don't feel like chasing it for forever. Oh, wait. Maybe. Could it happen? I still have to hit it when it's attacking me for this to go perfect. What the heck? That one's out. This one's staying. That'll work. I don't know if I can hip fire. Like, sometimes the 16 gauge bugs, but I'm gonna try to hip fire smoke. Oh, I think we did it. That should be perfect. I really want to see what that's like in the harvest screen. Crossing toes. Yes! That's the best. That's a success. Should I end the stream now? I think we just peaked. Danny, thank you for the super chat. Congrats on the West Virginia buck. I won some venison now. All the venison, for the most part, was left with Will and his family for, you know, letting us come out and hunt there. Look at my feet. Look at them toes. Beautiful toes. The timing probably couldn't have been better. I mean, the animation's legit, though. Like, trying to get you with the talons. Well done. Let's tax that so I don't forget. 46 hits. Absolutely. I didn't even realize that. Crushed in the vitals and neck and stuff. 0.7 meters. That might be my favorite shot we've had all year. I will try, Kylo. We'll see. Are you charging the one that was already there? Smoked. Smoked indeed. Alright, we can go ahead and move on from that, but pretty sure we just had the best moment of the stream that we're going to have. Anyway, is there a mount for Western Capercaillie where they are attacking like that? I don't think there is. I haven't tried, like, solo animal on a full body platform. Obviously on the wall plaques there's nothing. And in the multi-mount I don't think there's any attacking. It's like 3 Capercaillies just chilling. They're the best. They're pretty darn cool now that they've added that. Please add that post to the lodge, they should. That'll be ideal, right? Especially when you shoot it like that, then you want it back in that position. Reminds me how the raptors jump. I certainly assume, like, that's where the modern idea of how raptors would have attacked would come from, is how birds such as Capercaillies do that. Did I forget my bear? Ooh, I did. Quite frankly, I wasn't worried about the bear in the slightest. Like, that was just a way to try to make the Capercaillie attack, but it did drop, so we should do that. What's going on, Hunter? Just messed up a diamond Roosevelt log. It happens, unfortunately. Hopefully you'll get a chance at redemption here. I haven't messed with Leighton in a while for elk. Do they still drink 4 to 8 or whatever it was? Assuming they do. Last I remember, they weren't too terribly bad to grind if you wanted to try to get one like that. Is that the clip of the best shot I've ever taken? Black grouse are the best to hunt in Finland, and hello, what's going on, man? I would one day very much enjoy going after them. Caper smoke, nice. This one did look odd to me. I think it was just the sun again hitting that like really light colored tail, but the one that ran off looked almost too light. Odds that we find a serve veg are probably not that good, but I want to eat a Capercaillie. I need to know what they taste like. I bet it would be like chicken. Most things seem to be. Playing Hunter Classic right now. Nice. What you going after? I can't tell if my headset is acting up. Everything sounds off, like in the direction it is coming from. I assume that's my end. Hey Joshua, thank you for the super chat. Love the content, keep it up. I will definitely do my best. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Think it'll taste like anger and rage. Well, you are what you eat? I don't know. So ready for classic festivities? Did they confirm a date for that? I swear I saw something posted somewhere. I'm almost sure I saw it, but I don't know what it was. It's definitely the game. I have that weird directional sound thing too. Okay. Is it every time or is it just like sometimes? Like I haven't played the game that much, even since handguns came out, but especially like I haven't played it in a week, so maybe I was just used to it and didn't know. I mean, could we get another one to go aggressive? What's up, King Patriot? I'm doing good, man. Back home, no, got to sleep in my own bed last night, which was always nice, but the camper accommodations for a week-long hunt probably doesn't get a whole lot better than that, so, you know, just getting settled back in with everything. Spooked a diamond mountaineer. Ooh, go get it. That is one that I'm really hoping that we can get. 26th? Okay, that does sound right, too. I think that was probably the date I saw. Should be pretty exciting. I've been very much looking forward to getting the crossbow pistol and trying to get a ton of harvest with that with the werewolves. We'll see, though. That's going to be... You know, it's a time of year where a lot of real-life hunting is happening, so how much time can I put in? We shall see. Favorite kill in Call of the Wild? Recency bias, I guess, but the Piebald Diamond Gray Fox last December is definitely one of my favorites. The reason was, like, we had a really good hunt, and I saw this Gray Fox, and I knew it was Piebald. I could see the white, like, half of its face. So immediately I knew that's what it was. But I was, like, I hadn't spotted it yet. So, like, my reaction that you see in the video is 100%, you know, in the moment realization that there's a chance of a super rare there, and it being a predator species. Just all that worked out really well. How'd the hunting go? Or how did hunting go? Catch anything yet? In PA, not yet. In West Virginia, though, I got probably my best bow buck. I only had one other bow buck to begin with, but I'd say if you were to score it just by gross score, I think it would just probably be bigger than the other one. If you do net score, though, it would score a fair bit higher than my last bow buck. Keep them videos coming. I will definitely do my best. We'll catch you later. 8 months already with the membership as well, Josh. I appreciate it, dude. I don't know, for some reason those aren't popping up today, but I see it and appreciate it nonetheless. Gib super rare luck. There's still time, but I am once again looking at potentially going the entire year without having a super rare. Now, I got the Fox last December. There's always, I feel like, decent odds when a new map comes out, and I would say there's at least reason to maybe expect one to be sometime early December again this year, but we'll see. Cross-platform game? I wish it was. Unfortunately, it's not, and it doesn't seem they intend to make it that way. Is the 7mm good for killing a gator? It's ethical. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good for it, mostly because oftentimes you want like a second shot with them. They're really tough. They're just hard to bring down quickly, and if they do flee far enough, they end up just submerging under the water and essentially drowning, and you can't recover them. Hello. Whenever you're ready. I'm just here. You wanna take some more time? Mm-hmm. Got a long neck, dude. I like how he's like squaring up. Come on. I love the side steps. What the? I guess he was sizing me up and didn't think he had a chance. Ooh, nice, Mel. Your content was the reason that I started playing and keep playing it. That's always cool to hear, like, whether it's getting people into the community or bringing people back and getting interest in the game and stuff again. That's always a neat, I guess, effect that the content and stuff can have. Only the level 3s are in your weight class? Are you saying I'm fat? I think that's what you just said. Good shot, why thank you. Deed. Does not harvesting your kill effect respawns when grinding for things like whitetail? There was actually a fairly big debate about that in the Fabled Ones chat in the Hunter official Discord. And to be quite honest, I can't remember what the, like, decision was. I thought someone said you don't have to claim, like some people said, yeah, definitely, it matters, you have to claim your animals, otherwise, I don't know, they don't respawn right or something. But then I also seem to recall some people like saying they got a great one and they weren't claiming a single thing, so I don't know. That 96 elk was so cool. 96 elk. Aim confusion. Congrats on the buck. Thank you, Trash Panda. I honestly, that was a really stupidly lucky week. I don't know if Will's still in here. He's probably busy. But he can attest. It was the second day. Same stand that I had the whole fiasco in last year. Exact same stand. Where I had the turkeys come in. The coyotes ran them off. Shot over the coyotes back. Shooter buck came in. Camera died, so I didn't get to film any of the buck coming in. All of that happened in the same stand that I got the buck in this year. But then, because I had already, you know, basically tagged out, all I could do was fall turkey hunt. And I did that some. But there was a night that Kyla was going to hunt. And due to Shadow being Shadow, we can't really both hunt at the same time. Like, we don't even trust leaving her in the kennel right now by herself, in someone else's camper in particular, because she has broken out of those same kinds of kennels before, and I just don't know what kind of tearing stuff up she would do. So, instead, Kyla hunted one night. me and Will went and fished in the farm pond, and I caught my biggest bass ever. It was 4 pounds 2 ounces. I know that's not a huge bass by some people's metrics, but I hadn't even caught one over 3 pounds before, so that was a pretty neat thing. Only fish I caught, naturally. Danny, thank you for the super chat, by the way. PETA says they're going to see you, though you killed the diamond in self-defense. They say you should have let it kill you. I did. I tried with the other ones. I'm pretty sure I can weasel my way out of this. What kind of ducks are those? Widgeon, I need one of those. No 3s, though. What's going on today? We're just kind of running around and trying to get whatever we can. We killed a diamond caper Kaylee while it was attacking us. That was pretty neat. First time we got to do that. Speaking of caper Kaylee. My biggest bass is 4 pounds, so you're not alone. Hey, I mean, it's a good sized fish. I need to get... Honestly, you need to be there in person to hear the story told properly by Will, because I guess my reaction wasn't extremely obvious to be like, hey, I hooked into a really nice fish here. I guess I just kind of calmly said, oh, this is a pretty big one. And then Will said he looked over, and I was like darn near bent over backwards, like trying to hold the rod up. It was great. Oh, these poor frames. My first diamond was a fallow deer. It's a pretty cool first. They're one of the most impressive, max level animals in the game. What kind of rifle and scope do you use in Hunter Call of the Wild? The rifle I use varies widely depending on what I'm hunting, but I pretty much exclusively use the Argus 8-16 scope. I just like the extra zoom. A lot of people don't like it, especially if they're maybe taking a shot on the run, or like maybe grinding for whitetail, red deer, things like that. Oftentimes people will prefer the Hyperion scope, and for those things sometimes I'll use it, but for the most part I'm pretty consistently using the Argus. Where was the black grouse? When are we getting Great One quail? Maybe soon, oddly enough, because I don't know if I've talked about this yet or if you've seen it, but I'm pretty sure they changed. Are either of those big? Actually, you know what? I don't know if they're big, but we're going to shoot them anyway. They changed something with the quail to where now it's males, I think, that make diamond. I don't even know if females can. That's some rough shooting. The one that we hit on the ground is going to die. Well, we'll get this one and go follow him. What's going on, Scarecrow? Good shot, at least on this one. The rest, not so much. Predictions for December map. I think it's bigger than my troll. That was so close. Dang it. Anyway, Africa 2.0, how many times can I say that? Just till it happens? Big male. Not quite big enough. Need Africa 2.0 in my life? Virhunga's just that good. What did we get on Virhunga the last time? Is it an albino kudu? And the thing is, as great as it is, there's so many more species they could have done, and many that people wish they would have done. I don't see a reason why you couldn't do another. Where did we last spot them at? Maybe this way? I think that's blood. Is a great prediction. That's accurate. Blood indeed. Give me greater kudu, eland, hippo, leopard, impala. What do I want to add to that list? Impala and greater kudu are my top 2 that like have to be there. Black wildebeest would be really neat. Yeah, I don't think I have anything major that I really want that you haven't already listed. Today I smoke an albino... What is an African speed chicken? Is that like some kind of quail? Or a guinea fowl? I don't know. Eland's so underrated? I do agree. Look at the feathers in this. I don't know if you guys can see it because stream bitrate, but the feather detail is insane. You don't get to appreciate it when you can't see the x-ray view as much. it's impressive what they can do with these models. They really are some of the best. What's your TO1 diamond? First diamond? If that's the question, it was a must deer. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking. I recently reset my game, and while driving around in my ATV, getting all the outputs again, I get run over by 2 level 3 whitetail on Layton. Finally, my luck changed. There you go. I've always wondered, and I don't know that I played enough in my beginner series to get to find this out, but I've talked at great length by now about how I've pretty much always believed that some players just get better spawns for certain animals than others. Case in point, like reindeer back in the day for me, I just could not get a diamond reindeer, and I remember Zaggy was getting them left and right. I tend to do really well with, on this map, seemingly diamond capercaillie and diamond tufted duck, but on, speaking of ochre fur type, on Rancho, I get a bunch of diamond javelina. Other people maybe have better luck with other species, so things like that make me think that it works that way, but I wonder that, like, does your luck with specific species change if you reset? I don't know, it might. Top 1? Like my favorite? It's gotta be the piebald diamond gray fox. It's just such a neat kill. The circumstances around it, just like a hunt in which I finally got my first diamond quail. That was my first diamond gray fox, was a super rare, so that was really stupid luck. Just, you know. Couldn't, like, going out on that hunt, I couldn't have even said, like, maybe I'll get lucky enough to get that. There was no way I was ever dreaming I'd get that lucky. Reindeer was my second diamond, I believe, but that was literally the only one. Mine came from multiplayer. And after that, when I was able to get some. Not a bunch, though. I can't say for certain until Truax came out that I ever got one in single player. If I did, I don't remember it. Is this the same one? It probably is. I'm assuming it's the same. Mine came off my map. I think that's the cooler way to get them, though. Any species, not just reindeer. You got an albino raccoon. That video had an albino raccoon, a diamond quail, the super rare fox. Was there something else? Or was it just them 3? It almost felt like there was a 4th thing. Hello? What are the odds that we're going to be able to even see this thing? Not that good. He's landing, I think. Oh. That's a female all this time. Okay. Got a bighorn diamond Cape Buffalo the other day. Nice. You know, at some point here, Cape Buffalo are going to have to be on the list for Truax, surely. What was the last thing? Was it kudu? Like of the old species that got him? I feel like it was. Best map for grinding whitetail? Honestly, I think it's this one. I think Revontuli is probably the new best whitetail grinding map. I've seen quite a number of people by now have success doing it here. Sable also need to be in game. I do not disagree. Favorite bird species on Revontuli of all of them? I mean, it might be the capercaillie now with them going aggressive. I really like that. Purely based on like model and stuff. The thing that I run it, we'll even go a little further. The thing I run into with capercaillie is kind of the same thing that I run into with turkeys. There's just a lot of diamonds. Like it doesn't feel as special to get one. So probably black grouse when I factor all that in, but aggressive capercaillie are so much fun. I love it. Got my first great one red deer yesterday. Nice, man. Congrats. Congrats on your PA buck last year. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am hoping to get him back from the taxidermist sometime in the relatively near future. Hello there. Just to maybe do some other video of showing what that looks like. The guy that I took it to does really good work, and I am just excited to see how it turns out. Probably led that just a touch too much. I think that'll kill him, to be honest. We'll run over there and see if we can get close enough to get another shot at him. Where can I find brown bear drinking? When do they drink now? Is it 100 hours to midnight or something like that? It's a different time. How long is the stream going to be yet? About an hour and 9 minutes. Was it in the partner lounge, Scarecrow? I think I did. I saw a random beard joke in there, and that was... I've been entirely out of the loop, basically, for the last week, so I didn't do much scrolling or responding. Got my buck back from the taxidermist 2 weeks ago. Nice. I think Denton it's now the same as every other map, which is like 1400 to 1700, something like that. Is he dead yet? No. So there's hope. Back for a minute. Welcome back, Ben. 6,500 for this one. That's a lot of theirs. More than I want to shoot. Midnight to 3:30 for brown bear. Okay. Same as like old gray wolf time. Don't you die. That's not a thing I'll say to things I'm trying to shoot very often. It died. West Virginia, North Carolina, map where it's super thick woods and you can't see more than 40 yards. Woods and briars grow in every field. Little addition, make the briars like the cactuses on Rancho and you actually get hurt. Anyway, but deer always spooked because too many dogs. I like it. A diamond is like a 6 point. Depends on where you're at, though, in all those states. Can you play more Red Dead? Maybe one of these days we'll get back to it. Having completed the story on stream on our Twitch series there that took like a year, I'm pretty happy with where we left it. But, you never know. It's the type of game that if you do just decide to get back to it for even like a day, like, I feel like playing Red Dead, it could easily become another 6-month addiction, so we'll find out. What's up, Mike? I'm doing good, man. How about you? If we get Africa 2.0, I'd be interested in hunting Gerenuk. They look so strange. So, I don't remember the context anymore, but I happen to know exactly what you're talking about. Hopefully I said it right. Because we named them neck deer for some reason. I think what it was like a screwed up whitetail or something on Leighton. Like in the harvest screen, its neck looked all weird, and we called that a neck deer, and then somebody looked up neck deer and found the Gerenuk, and I also would like to hunt them. They look like, it's almost like a mini draft, but a springbuck version. How's bow season coming along? In PA, I haven't released an arrow in PA. In West Virginia, I got my first on film bow buck. I had one previous buck with a bow, so that week was more what? Productive, I guess, than the previous two back home here. Or previous one, I guess. Yeah, previous one. Do you think a second African map could be coming this December? I feel like it's long overdue. I don't want to say I think it's happening because I don't know what I think anymore. It's hard to make a prediction as to like what they're gonna do. Because I've been thinking, I'm with you, I do think it's long overdue. I've been thinking it was long overdue for like 2 years now. So, does that mean maybe they're finally gonna do it? Maybe. Does that also mean maybe they have a completely other idea? Wouldn't shock me. At least in Classic they are, Cruz. I don't know if they're doing anything for Call of the Wild. They've done like 2 random ones. The first year Call of the Wild came out, they had a Halloween event. And was it last year? Which year was like the glowing red road-eared stuff? Because I didn't even do those missions. What's up, Hunter Mate? After watching your guides, I got my first diamond springbuck. Nice, dude. Congrats. Glad the guides kind of helped out. I feel like UW needs to do something big, gain some popularity after Way the Hunter and such. I'll actually look at the stats again because it's been a while. But we talked about this on a stream recently. I thought Way the Hunter obviously is doing well, but I thought it was doing even better than it was. For comparison's sake, just on Steam right now, we have a 3,700 in-game number for Call of the Wild. Obviously, still just on Steam, in Way the Hunter, currently in game 645. Like, I don't think it cut into the Call of the Wild player base as much as people thought it did. At least long term. Still kind of surprised at that. That game is really well done. I think a part of it probably is Call of the Wild also is really well done, and people who have played Call of the Wild for, you know, 3, 4, 5 years, you don't want to just abandon it all of a sudden. Like, I definitely get that. Fair enough, Hatchet. I think they do listen. I think they also just have like a roadmap and things that they want to accomplish. So it's a tough balancing act. At the very minimum, we need 3 more Africa maps when you consider they usually have 2 to 3 returning species per map. Yeah, I mean, I've said that many times. They could do 10 Africa maps with 10 species on each and not repeat once. It's just that diverse in terms of game animals. Will they do that? I doubt it, but, you know, 1 more would be nice. Have you ever played Bigfoot? Is it just called Bigfoot? I think it is. There's actually 2 videos from probably 2018 sometime of who all was it? Me, Mike, because Mike was the one that got us into it. Don't take that out of context. Mason and Jay, maybe? Cellshot, if you guys know him. I think he was there. I can't remember. Maybe G was there? I know we played that together on his channel. Regardless, there's a couple videos out there on my channel of us playing it. I really can't remember who all was there. We would have beaten the game or, you know, killed Bigfoot. We had everything. Like, we had health, ammo, traps. We were set. And he got glitched into a mountain and wouldn't come out no matter what we did. So, I kind of, like, at the end of that video, I, like, vowed to go back and get him, and we never did. Will you ever grind for another great one, Red Deer? I don't think. It may happen organically, just from respawns, but I don't intend to do another Red Deer grind. I'm pretty happy with my one. Need to stream it? Maybe. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if Kyler would like that game anyway. I'm going to attempt to get us a mixer for our microphones and see if we can do some dual content. I think I found a way to have 2 Blue Yetis, because Yetis are really made for, like, recording and stuff. Not made to be, like, podcast mics necessarily, or multiple person podcast mics, but there's, like, a way to make it work. Without echoing, God, I hope. The one thing, as I was saying, because of the way they're made, you're changing the signal from, like, analog to digital or something like that, and then you actually go back in reverse. You do it, I think it's like 4 times, the way that it ends up working. So you end up with some delay. Editing-wise, it should be fine. Recording-wise, I should say. I don't know if streamed content with a mixer ends up with too big a mic delay, but there is only one way to find out. What do you think is better, 338, 470, or 300? I have all 3. Probably 300 just because it's got the biggest ammo capacity. The 470 is a break action double barrel. 338 is a break action single shot. 300, which has comparable power, it has a 4 round capacity. So just for that, I'd go 300. That's a speedy boy. Ah. Oh, no longer a speedy boy. That was the last shot that we had a chance at. I have all 3. Did I say that? I think I said out of all 3. Maybe I did say I have all 3. I don't know. Hooked on Classic and Apex right now? Nice. How come Classic doesn't have an Africa map? So, I can't remember if this was just a theory I had or if they actually came out and said this. But regardless, up until maybe 2018 sometime, which was about the last time that Classic released a new map. The render distance was always about 200 meters. They increased it to 330 or something like that. The animal render, which means you can get some weirdness with trees and stuff between that 200 meter and 300 meter range, but anyway. A 200 meter render really doesn't allow you to very accurately simulate Africa. Because there are, there are so many areas where it's flat and open where you should be able to see well beyond 200 meters. Animals like popping into render and stuff all the time just wouldn't look that good, wouldn't simulate it that well, so that's why I assume they've never done one, but I don't know. What has happened? Well, we've been attacked by at least 4 capercaillie now, one of them being a diamond that we shot mid-attack, which was pretty neat. Do you think we could see an Amazon rainforest map? I mean, Piccabean Bay is not that far off in Classic, and as we have quoted from the devs many times, they once said that eventually everything in Classic would work its way into Call of the Wild, so if not exactly that, then maybe something similar. I want a Mountain Monsters map. Is that right? I don't remember any of the guys' names anymore, but they could be the wardens. Only got 12 diamonds? I mean, that is the best number of diamonds to have, though. Is it possible to get a Great One Whitetail if you're shooting only 1 diamond? If you're shooting only 1 diamond each zone, like not all my zones, I've shot more than 1. Don't have perfect zones. If I'm understanding what you're asking me right, you can shoot a Great One without shooting any diamonds anywhere. Finding all your zones or shooting a diamond in each zone isn't that important. It ultimately comes down to RNG. I think Great Ones, maybe even more so than diamonds, are just entirely random. And you see that with herd management. People can get hundreds of diamonds pretty quickly, but the rate at which they get Great Ones doesn't seem to change compared to someone who just shoots everything and doesn't herd manage. So yeah, I don't think you need any specific number of diamonds from your zones or anything. What's up, David? The biggest thing you missed was us shooting a diamond capercaillie at 0.7 meters as it was mid-jump trying to attack us. Thought that was pretty neat. Where are we on the map? We're heading up into the mountain area. I don't think we're going to go all the way up, but you can see where we're at there. I think we're going to kind of veer to our east and go through there. Do you think this is the best whitetail map? As of now, I do, yeah. Is the 22H good for mustier? If I remember right, I think it was before they buffed it. Someone couldn't even get lungs on one? I think now it would be good, but I haven't tried it, so take that with a grain of salt. Or 2. An entire teaspoon of salt. There you go. Killed around 50 red deer, all level 7 or 8, no diamonds, and a Great One spawned in. It can happen. Any diamonds yet? 1 diamond capercaillie. It got aggressive, and we managed to shoot it as it was jumping up, trying to spur us, so that was neat. I got on SRP after the reset and got a diamond mountain lion. There you go. Do we have any cool initial spawns from the reset? I think I had something. To be honest, I can't remember. Maybe we didn't. Now that I'm thinking of it, maybe not. I remember we got to see how much different it was with Rocky Mountain elk and stuff. I don't think we did kill any diamonds. Later, Paul. I half forgot what we were after. Where's that black grouse at? There they are. Couple of small fellas. Maybe we can plink them as they go. Don't you fly. Nope. Ah! Breath is... a rare commodity these days. Well, we hit one of them. God, okay. I guess we'll take one. Is a 261 mid-rack red deer big? I am far from an expert. Are you talking about a diamond or a great one? The red deer diamonds I know a decent amount about, but the red deer great one racks I have next to no clue. In real life Miro, no. Or Myro, maybe. I spent an hour and a half hunting a diamond gator. It was max weight. Ultimately worth it then, right? When do you stream? Normally the regular schedule for Mondays is 3 p.m., going from 3 to 5. But with a cold front moving through, we decided to stream early today and hopefully get a crack at a deer tonight. Kyle has the rest of the schedule there in the chat too for Twitch streams as well. Aim ain't assist? Dang it. We had one that was 119.7, now 119.1. Diamond's 120. Just give me a 120, man. I was gonna say I'm back, but it's a Hunter Man and I can't be associated with him after this week. Wait, why? What am I forgetting? Maybe? I know West Virginia won. I'm dumb. Oh, he's gonna beat you. Oh, what, in fantasy? I gotcha. I'm gonna lose to Aaron. Aaron's ranked number 10, so don't be too sad. What happens if you overhunt a need zone? Basically, to describe what overhunting basically is, if you shoot 4 animals in the same zone, you'll get really bright pressure, like very similar to this. Any zones within that area will be deleted. So like, let's say there was this zone, but it was up here. That feed zone icon would disappear off the map, and the animal would actually move that zone to a new location. It probably won't be far away, but they will move. Wait, what did I do? I can't believe Aaron beat me. He was even nice enough, which maybe I deserved it then. He was nice enough to tell me that Jonathan Taylor was out, so I had to swap last second and put in. Who did I put in? I can't remember. Some not great running back, and I think he only got me 5 points. Geno Smith's really good. I need to know if he is actually that good, or if like they are scheming him to absolute success. If Pete Carroll's just on like a revenge tour to make it out to, you know, be that they were right in getting rid of Russ, because Geno's playing better than Russ so far. Think the albino moose look good? I do too. We got to check those out in... What video was that? I don't remember, but we checked them out in a recent video anyway, in the Trophy Lodge, and they look really good. Whale Hunter looks cool. It is cool. Highly recommend. They just got the brown bear into the game officially now, so something new to check out. Last week, Denton, there you go. I had a same game, actually. I was down by 29 or so, and Josh Jacobs, that's the guy's name. There's a J in there. He put up 30 on the Chiefs, and wow, they lost. It got me the win. Stream glitching for anyone else? Oh, yeah, definitely. 15,000 drop frames. Internet, please. Let me see if I can swell that a little bit. I think it's mad at me for leaving for a week. Are we still dying?
Gotta go body.
I gotta set the bitrate super low to make it a blurry mess. We'll make it a podcast. How about now? I don't understand why we're still dropping frames. Was up 26 first, Josh Jacobs? That is a little unfortunate. Are you in PA right now? Yes. Dealing with my big sad of an internet. How long can I go with this until it just looks like absolute garbage? Oh. Okay. We're green. That's a plus. We might still be alive. No more Rust prime time, please. I do agree. I'm gonna just stand here because it's gonna be so unbelievably blurry when we move. Try to let the interwebs recover a little bit. I still don't know like why it is doing that. I kind of think we had issues the last stream before I left. Super clear for me. As long as I stand still, it will be. I'll show you. When I start moving, and particularly looking around, it will be a little blurrier than we like. Oh boy. Alright, I guess I'll shoot a black grouse with the worst bitrate in history. Or I'll try. What's up, Riley? I'm doing good, man. If the interwebs would cooperate, I'd be even better, but is what it is. I thought I heard him. I don't think he's taken off yet. I hear wings. Well, I guess it's not from the grouse. Cardinal Saints gonna be boring. It's gotta be better than 12-9 and 12-7 the previous weeks, right? Has to be. There goes the stream. It hates me. Is that it? The good news is it's not that big. Even better news, I can't hit it. And best news of all, he's gonna fly all the way across the water because they can't land unless they're not over water. Stream smoked. Is it down? Because it's fine for me. It's there for you? Oh, there's another one. By how much? Okay. It shouldn't be that much.
It's still there. I think people just
Ah, close. Dang it. Well, that one's gonna get away. Alright, I'm gonna try upping the bitrate and hopefully it doesn't just die on us. Can we go 4,500? I guess. Make and do. Why is nobody using the Range Master? Mostly just a ammo capacity thing. The 300 is very similar in power, and it can hold 3 more rounds. The ability to have a quick follow-up shot and stuff is invaluable in some circumstances, and you can't get that with the 338. Just stream struggles, Tux, trying to drop literally every possible frame out here. Need to split the bill for Elon Wi-Fi? Maybe reliability is better, but speed-wise, I can't do much better than we have here. Upload I could, but it's not necessary. Like the stream at 1080p, you only need... You usually want double the speed you stream at, so like I would need 13, and we get 40 here. Just reliability strugs. If you're dropping them, just pick them up. You can... I'll hire you to walk behind me and pick them up. Or run behind me if I'm going too fast. Whatever happened to me going that way? I forgot. What's up, Chess? Thinking of getting a PC. How powerful of one does it take to run Call of the Wild and Way the Hunter reliably? it really does depend. What I would probably recommend is going into my Discord and going to the Nerd Hub section and asking there. Because I'm really not great with, like, PC stuff, particularly hardware. Like, the one that I have now, one of the moderators in Discord, probably the most likely person to respond in Nerd Hub if you were to type in there. I checked with him, like, with everything that I was getting before I did it. Is that right, he says? Is that what they say? What's up, Toad? I just got back to Call of the Wild and wanted to ask you a question. Which do you think is the best weapon to aim for, as far as, like, which to try to strive to get? Once you get the 7mm, you're pretty set. If you already have that, I mean, 300 from the Yukon Valley DLC. If you don't have the DLC, the 338 will basically do the same thing, just without the ability to get a follow-up shot. When is the Angler supposed to come to Xbox? We don't have a date yet, do we? I don't quite know why, but they just haven't told us, and it's weird. I don't like it. This had the penetration bug with the 300 on a moose. Heavy quartering away, but the bullet didn't get past, like, the flesh at 26 meters. This is Call of the Wild, right? I still don't know if I've had that bug. In the past, for sure, but recently anyway. Super Bowl predictions, so I'll tell you what I said literally last February. I think it was the night after the Super Bowl, or maybe the next day. Somebody asked me and I was like, let's go with Bills to win it and for them to beat the Niners. I don't think it's going to be the Niners. I kind of do think it's still going to be the Bills from the AFC. I don't know if I can pick a better NFC team than the Eagles, but it feels cheap to be like, hey, that team that hasn't lost yet, yeah, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. So, if I were to try to pick another team, which I still think the Bills are going to beat whoever it ends up being. Vikings could be an interesting pick. I don't think it's going to be anyone from the NFC West. Or South. Yeah, I guess Vikings. The NFC is hard to get a read on because you've got the Cowboys who are now, what, 4-2? The Giants are 5-1, but they're not exactly just, you know, outright beating teams. They're just finding ways to win, which is important. Wait, did he really? Robbie Anderson got sent to the Cardinals? So I saw that he got kicked off the field by Steve Wilkes, is that his name? And I read that he requested a trade, like, on the way to the locker room, but I didn't know if it was real. How dare you not say the Falcons? Well, they did just beat the team that I thought might go. He just did for real. Just gonna check my fantasy real quick, see if he's available. Don't mind me. I'll just be over here. Let's go, Broncos. Broncos country. Let's ride. Russ is something else. Let's see. Wide receiver. Most added ooh. I'm gonna just claim. I'm not gonna get him. Somebody else will. Who do I not need? I don't know. Alright, let's see if I get lucky. It's worth noting, I'm going to look at the other leagues too. It's worth noting that the league I just attempted to add him in is the, like, little community league that we have going. So, fair chance that someone watching the stream is also in that league. Oh, hey, there's Bottom Boy. What's going on, man? Hopkins back next week, I think? Yeah, he should be. Broncos country, we tried. Broncos country, they died. Gotta get Richard Sherman out there. Broncos country, let's score. Gotta love being low man on waiver wire totem pole. Just don't tell Aaron. Even though he beat me, he might still be number 10. Maybe he rose up some. Honestly, same bottom boy, like with, because I have Hopkins on reserve still, which means I have to drop someone else. Wide receiver depth is something I definitely have, but I feel like that's not a bad idea to try to get him anyway. I think we can turn the bitrate back up a little bit now, Josh. It'll probably die again at some point before we're done, but 4,500 is a little low. The max you can actually, like the max that YouTube will display is 8,000. Oh, yep, that ain't gonna work. That's dropping frames right away. Back to 4,500 it is. Oh. We have an angry Caper Kaylee as the frames are just not having it. Am I gonna have to go all the way down again? That's what I get for streaming at a different time. My internet's like, hey, how about you just stick to your regular schedule? Where is this thing? Frames, please. I just want to do my stream. Brandon, thanks for becoming a channel member, by the way. I certainly appreciate that. In the midst of the frame struggles, hopefully it cooperates long enough for me to at least say it. If you're not in the Discord already, Kyla has that link in chat. Be sure to join that. Link up your YouTube, get the member role, and all the good stuff that comes along with that. And enjoy the green name and emojis here in chat. Alright, turn it down further. I don't blame you for dropping him though, bottom boy. Like, he's just been not good. Like, at all. Did you sacrifice part of your West Virginia buck to the internet gods? No, I sacrificed it to the Yellow Jacket gods. That was something. So, I need to be careful how I say this because it could sound like I'll just full explanation. We didn't like entirely plan for success as well as we probably should have, which I don't know what that says about us, but is what it is. So, we get the buck back to camp, and it's like, all right, now we gotta like quarter this thing and find something to do with it, because we didn't even have coolers down there, like big brains. I have a perfect size cooler for an entire deer. Guess who didn't bring that on that trip? So anyway, we had to go up to Will's parents to get coolers and stop at the gas station, get ice and all that good stuff. And we get back, and we had skinned the deer because, you know, we don't want the hide still on it and holding all that heat in. And it's just swarmed with like an entire nest of yellow jackets. It was so many. And I'm like mildly allergic. If one bee stings me, I'm not gonna die. But if a couple get me, I'd probably swell up enough that it could be a problem. But I had a deer to worry about, so we braved the yellow jackets and got it quartered and pretty well picked the thing clean despite all that. What's up, Bobo? We're doing good. How about yours? Someone said that Payne Kyler Murray was like giving a kid a lot of candy. I mean, as long as he does his homework. So what you do is say, oh well, just shoot another buck and let nature claim the other. Literally all that was going through my head is like everything I talk about when it comes to, I mean, the name of the show is Meat Hunters. Like, we're there to try to fill the freezer and all that stuff. And it was like in my mind, as I'm like trying to avoid getting all these bees to sting me, like, just don't waste it. You shot this thing, gotta get the meat off, and even if you're gonna get stung by a bee, there to hunt meat. Maybe even more, bottom boy. It was so many bees. I was worried, to be honest. It was quite the scene. Didn't record any of that because, you know, I was trying not to get stung by bees. I know what you're talking about, Trash Panda. I saw that meme that said Hillary wore it better. That was That was a look. So, 7mm Express Magnum is the perfect rifle, you said? When you get that, you're at least able to take every animal in the game. From Mouflon all the way up to Water Buffalo, the 7mm can take it. Gonna enjoy the heck out of that jerky? Dude, I bet. Speaking of that, I don't want to, well, I can say the name of the gas station. That'll be fine. You'll probably know which one it was. The Speedway that's not very far from the road where we had to turn in. We went to there, stopped real quick, gassed up to head home. I bought like a $20 bag of jerky. And Shadow was sleeping like 2 minutes into the drive, so I had to wait for forever to actually get it because I wanted Shadow to sleep. You have nice vibes, it's relaxing to watch your stuff. Thank you, man. That is definitely kind of like what we're going for with the relaxing approach, so I really appreciate that. Need a Killakai / Meat Hunter's Venison Chili cooking episode? Ooh. That's not a bad idea.
I think people would laugh if they see how, like, simple we make our stuff. Like, when we're really lazy.
We should just go full on, like, even to the point of growing the vegetables in the summer. Just for one meal.
I can't grow anything since I'm pumpkin stuff.
That was just a timing issue. It was too late when we came up with the idea. Let alone planting them. Just killed my first ever buck in real life? Nice, man. Congrats. She's still absolutely whooped. We got home last night. And then, basically, I dropped Kyla off here, unloaded the truck other than the cooler so I could take that up to my brother to do Urim out. Took Shadow with me because Kyla wanted to record. And drove up to my parents and hung around there for a couple hours. All she wanted to do was sleep. She's pretty much slept all day today. But that'll probably be the extent of it. About tomorrow she'll be going 100 miles an hour again. Holy, it's an acid. Figured I'd stop and say what's up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know where the real acid is, but that's not what he says when he enters the stream. So you're gonna have to give his account back because I know you're a fraud. What did the Bucks score? The one from this year? I didn't score it yet. I probably should. Gross score, I think it's probably 1-teens, 116 maybe. Might be a little bigger than that, maybe 120. Net though, it's probably gonna be closer to 110. It has a short G3, and then I think the one main beam's a little longer. It might be bigger than I'm thinking. The trail camera pictures, I thought it was like darn near a 148 point. The trail camera pictures make it look huge. And when it was coming in, I was pretty sure it was that one. And I think I had it in my head that he was going to be a little bit bigger than he was when we walked up to him. And the side that was up was the better G3 side. So then when I got to him, I was like, is he as big as I think? I don't know how to describe what that like did mentally, but when I finally took it home last night and got it out of the cooler, because I shot it on the second day, we had to throw that in the cooler too, just to make sure that it didn't smell god awful by the time we headed back. I looked at it again and I was like, actually it's pretty decent. I can see it just cracking 120 gross. It might, because it does have pretty long tines for a 3-year-old deer. I'll score it, or I'll probably have Isaac score it. Just like, hey, whenever you're done doing that Euro mount, score that thing real quick. Ground shrinkage, like a little bit, kinda. But it wasn't entirely that, because like when I walked up to it, I was like, oh dude, this is a really nice buck. I think I just, like, in comparison to some of the trail camera pictures, the main thing was it didn't have quite as much mass as I thought, and I don't want it to make that sound like, or I don't want that to make it sound like I'm not happy with the deer. I'm over the moon with it, but I guess just to convey the difference, knowing what deer it was, or being pretty sure of what deer it was, and then when I got up to it, and it wasn't quite as big as I thought it was from what the picture showed, it made me think it probably scores a little lower than it even does. So I'll try to score it soon and let you guys know. Travis, thanks for becoming a channel member. Don't mind me slapping my mic. If you're not in the Discord already, be sure to join that, link up your YouTube, get the member role, get all that good stuff, and enjoy the green name and emojis here in chat as well. Speaking of that buck, by the way, one other thing I wanted to talk about. Somebody asked me or didn't ask me, I think. Somebody said something in the community tab post that I made, which, by the way, that photo is so much bigger than I thought. I'll get a good one maybe tonight when I get the SD card out of the camera. Anyway, someone said something like, you know, don't be too picky. That buck last year could make someone picky or whatever. And my response was something along the lines of just like how much I was shaking and how excited I was after making that shot. I'm no less interested in chasing 3.5 and 4.5 year old 120-inch deer after shooting the one last year. I still love it. Wouldn't have hesitated for a second. Nah, I definitely didn't either. The only hesitation was getting drawn back and the buck seeing me. When I drew back, I think it would have been 100% smooth. He'd have never known I was there. And I realized what the problem was. I don't ever shoot a deer out of a stand when standing up. In this case, I had to because of the way the stand's aligned. And probably I just put my safety harness too high up the tree by just like a couple inches. But I'm used to not having to deal with that at all. But because because I was standing up, the slack in the harness is way different. And my arm caught it, and I couldn't get drawn all the way back, so I had to do this like wiggle maneuver to get my arm to get the bow pulled back. And that was enough for the buck to see me, but luckily it was through the trees, and he ended up, I think it was 32 seconds or something. I'd looked at it on the GoPro for how long I was drawn back. Ended up moving and worked out quite well. Later, Acid. Have you ever shot a 300 in real life? I have not. So I almost put that in last month's montage, Joe, since the episode itself came out late September. But I didn't want some kind of weird, like, demonetization thing or something to happen with that, so I figured I better not. How to call the wild whitetail compared to real whitetail as far as realism? The body models are close. Real whitetails' faces are a lot more slender than they make them look like in this game. Antlers are pretty far off. The biggest thing I would say is your typical whitetail is an 8-point. I shouldn't use the word typical. Your average whitetail is an 8-point. Sometimes you'll get 5x5 frames. Really rarely you'll get 6x6 frames. If you get a typical 7x7, that's insane. And a typical 8x8 will basically never happen. Almost every whitetail in Call of the Wild, like every gold anyway, is an 8x8. Which is just nuts. Ooh, hopefully it's still around, Hunter. Makes sense, wrong word? Yep. When it comes to antlers, I should probably clarify. I was telling my dad about just like looking in when you guys had me in your dad's man cave there with all the bucks, and I was like, that right there is what I am striving to do with all the future whitetail hunts. Get a room full of big males like that. All those things are just brutes. I've seen an 8x8 where I hunt here in Minnesota. 8x8 typical though? Or 8x8 with some stickers? What kind of bow do you have? We this year are shooting dart and bows. So the last couple years Obsession sponsored us. When I say that, it might sound like either we dropped Obsession or Obsession dropped us. That's not the case. The Obsession sponsorship was actually through Hunter's Friend Europe. They're associated with each other. That association changed. So Darton and Hunter's Friends Europe are now, like, they do business together or whatever. So we have Darton bows this year. If you've never heard of Darton, I wouldn't be too surprised. But what you may not know is Darton manufactures, I believe it's the cams, for a lot of the really well-known bow companies. And their bows are really nice. The first time I shot the new Darton bow, I sent TK a message. I was like, dude, we have to keep these guys around. I love this thing. And the first time I shot it at a deer, I got my first bow buck on film. So hopefully that kind of stuff will keep up. What kind of broadheads? This year, this is a sponsored one as well. This year we're shooting VPA, Vantage Point Archery. They have a huge selection. Everything. What is that? God, I thought that was a rare raccoon dog. I hate lynx. Anyway, they've done that to me so many times. Not even a raccoon dog lane. What am I thinking? Anyway, back to what I was saying. Everything from like your vented 3 blades to single bevel 2 blades to non-vented 3 blades. You've got 100 grain, 125s, 150s. I think they have 200s, maybe 250s. Just tons of selection. Once again, my buck, the one that I just shot down in West Virginia. I don't think this is too much spoilers. Double lung. It maybe went 110 yards, probably 100. Something like that. Blood trail was... We darn near could have followed it at a trot at some places. Some, you know, slower trailing where it would... When it started to go downhill and it would start to cover ground a little quicker, we had to, you know, look... There's maybe 3 times on the entire trail where we had to stop and be like, what direction did it go in? And normally it would turn, and then we'd find it. Really, really impressed with their performance. I'm using single bevel 2, like, it's not, 2 blade and single bevel almost sound like opposites. But the 2 blade, 1 1/8 inch cutting diameter, very similar to, what did I shoot last year? I can't remember the name of those. Those were sent to us too, so I feel bad. I don't know why I didn't, Will. I should have. I should have laid the arrow with the broadhead on the deer. I should have. At least we got one with the bow. What else was there? Should have like focused on the meat seeker arrows. This is behind the scenes stuff, so I guess you guys get to listen into a little bit of this. Whoever kills the next deer, I'm just gonna take really up close pictures, like on the coat of the deer, buck or doe, and I'll have them. I thought of that afterwards, like, why didn't I do all that? What am I doing? Muzzy Trocar HB will do some damage, never had a problem. If I didn't have like the sponsorship with VPA, I don't even know what I would use. Because I used, don't laugh at me some of you guys, I used Rage expandables for like my first, I don't know, 8 years of bow hunting, something like that, a long time. And then finally, I was just having too many times where I'd make, you know, saying a perfect shot might be a little, you know, a heart shot is a perfect shot, I guess, but you know, a double lung shot. And I wouldn't get the penetration I'd expect or the blood trailing I'd expect from a 2-inch cutting diameter, so I ended up switching to the single bevels last year. Again, I can't remember what those were, and I definitely haven't looked back, but I'm a big fan of Muzzies too. My dad used them for a long time. I get, like, most fixed blade broadheads are pretty darn good. I think that's my takeaway. I love how you got all this top line equipment and I got hand-me-down bow, broadheads, and Walmart arrows. Well, I should first say that it's not all top line stuff. Like, dart and bows are fairly affordable. You can get a ready-to-hunt dart and bow for like 900 bucks. That's the model my brother has. Ours were a little more expensive, and again, huge thank you to Dart, and they were given to us, so really appreciate that. But I think they're $1,200 or $1,300 bows. They're up there, but still not top of the market's like $2,000. But when I got started in archery, I had a $75 yard sale bow, Walmart arrows, and Rage broadheads, which were basically the cheapest mechanicals you can get. That's the way you get into most things in hunting, is hand-me-downs and, you know, used stuff. The market's so blown up right now, it is absurd. It really is. The technology that goes into the bows is always evolving and getting better and better, but in some ways it almost doesn't even make sense how you can buy a pretty, not top of the line in terms of price, but we'll put it this way, a great performing rifle for like $800-900 with a scope. $800-900 bow is like low end. Finland is the bottomland oasis of Call of the Wild maps. It's true. I like it. Accurate assessment. My uncle still only uses the Nap Thunderheads. If it ain't broke, I think is the saying there. Tips for bobcat hunting on Rancho. When do they drink now? Do they drink at all? I think they took their drink time away. I'll be honest, I haven't hunted them exclusively much at all. I don't know that I have many tips. Run around and listen for warning calls and run in the direction of warning calls. They'd run so slowly you'll catch up to them. A lot of deer, and Kyle has the burbs on payroll. Did you post that on like your Instagram or anything?
What, that bird?
The bird one, yeah.
Yeah, it was like an Instagram story and
Oh, okay.
on Facebook, but it didn't load until like the next day.
Kyla got a good video of. Were you putting your quiver on your bow?
Yeah.
And then the big old vulture or something flew right through the frame perfectly. At what range, Danny? What rifle do you recommend for alligator hunting? I would probably go 303. That would probably be my choice if you're wanting to do a rifle. I normally use the 454 handgun and try to get close for like any level 9s or rares that I really want to make sure I bring down, but it's a preference thing. I need your insight. I'm torn between using my 338 Winchester or my dad's old 35 lever action. Which one do you think I should use for rifle season this year? I mean, what I would probably do is factor in, I guess price of ammo might be important. It depends on whether or not you already have it. And like how well you can shoot. Some guns just fit some people better. I think even some bows fit some people better, even with the same axle to axle and the same brace height and the same draw length. Some bows just fit. Actually, Kyla and I's are a perfect example. We have the same draw length. Hers is a lower poundage, but that doesn't affect the size of anything. Same exact model of bow, so same axle to axle, same brace height. Mine fits me perfect, I swear, even though we had the same draw length. Kyla's feels like it just doesn't quite fit my form, I guess. I don't know why. It should be exactly the same, but there's just a slight difference. Don't know why. She shoots it good though.
Sometimes.
How old were you when you killed your first deer? I was 10. I would have turned 10 in September, and I shot my first deer, I think it was November 29th of 2007. Back in the good old days. I can't say I did see that. Is it not Bastion? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't think I saw it. What is your personal life like? What's that? That's what I thought you said. I don't even know how to answer that, to be honest.
It's great.
What do I do? Like, I guess hunting isn't a personal life thing because I film all that. I mean, yeah, it's great. I don't think there's anything outstanding to talk about. We just do our thing and what? Well, I mean, like, you guys are on YouTube and stuff with me. I don't know. I feel like there's nothing that you guys don't know that there's all sunshine and rainbows and big males. What's the proper way to hunt from the stand in Call of the Wild? To be honest, hunting from a stand in Call of the Wild isn't the best option in almost any way. What I would say is set up a stand over a need zone and wait for them to come in. You shot my first time in Red Deer a couple days ago. Nice. We don't know your social security number. 12, 12, 12, 12. I think that's the wrong number of digits. Might be the right number of digits somewhere. Not what I was hoping for. Do you do YouTube full time? Yeah, or YouTube and Twitch anyway. Where do you hunt chamois now? Just up in the mountains. They don't drink, but you can find them feeding and stuff up through the mountains fairly easily if you just kind of wander around. They're in fairly big-sized herds, so whether it's a warning call or just spotting them in distance, it's pretty doable. 12-0-0-0-12. Sounds about right. Is that the right number? I think there's one extra digit. I don't know. Not that it matters. What is the best way to grind for cash? My favorite is set the time to Plains Bison drink time and Yukon and get to 300 to smoke them. That'll work. I haven't done a grind for cash in a long time. Just naturally playing the game as much as I have has made it so I don't really need to. But I mean, it used to be geese. What would I do now? Probably just run Teawaroa for red deer or fallow deer. I think that would be my preferred method. I never know how to answer that question. What is my biggest diamond? I mean, I've got a max score diamond plains bison. That's the biggest animal that I have a max score of. What question did you answer, Danny? I answered your question above. Oh, there we go. About 50-55 yards, 3/4 inch low. If you aim top of the spine. Wait. How far are you shooting? Because if you're only 3/4 of an inch low, I don't think you need to aim top of the spine. Ducks on Revontuli give a lot? Was it all ducks or only one species? I remember that now. At least a species of ducks was given 1,000 cash per. What's your draw weight? So I'm shooting 65 pounds this year. I shot, if I remember right, 70 in 2019, 75 in 2020, 70 again in 2021, and then I was going to shoot 60 this year. I've just had shoulder issues and stuff to the point where I was mostly okay last year, but in 2020 in particular, every time I drew my bow back to shoot, including the 3 deer that I shot with the bow, I was in a fair amount of pain. So I tried to go lower, but the arrow setup I chose ended up being to where I had to increase my draw weight because the spine was... Basically, I figured this out through paper tuning. The spine was a bit too stiff, so I was getting... I don't even know how... I don't know why a too stiff of a spine. I understand if it's not stiff enough, you get some, wobbling. Either way, I had to go up to 65 pounds to offset that. Which server are you playing in? Well, if you're asking what map, I'm on Revontuli Coast, but I'm in single player. If you're asking... What the... Hello. Just saw giant antlers there. So what's diamond for these? This is a troll, right? Isn't diamond 274? He looks big. Thick. I think he's unthick, ultimately. Yep, that rip will confirm that. We'll just smoke him there and move on. I think his left side is good, his right side sucks. Yeah, the right side doesn't have a brow. That makes sense. Okay, didn't expect him to go to drink. That should still be a lung, but we'll see. Not that it ultimately matters. Yeah. It'll get him. Did you get one? Oh, I forgot about that. That was a level 4 as well. Well, mine sure won't. I mean, if you're just gonna stand there. Better chance of making diamond than the moose. How's your doggo? She is very tired. We took her to West Virginia with us. She had an absolute blast. 6 hours in the truck yesterday, the West Virginia trip, and then going to my parents and back. Just napping it out. Why don't you use the Imperial system? So basically, to try to make it quick, Classic and Call of the Wild are very similar in terms of their weights. So like whitetail, moose, Roosevelt elk, feral pigs, red deer, wild boar, another big one. All these things have the same max weight in Classic as they do in Call of the Wild. Classic has no option for Imperial, you have to use metric. And because I already knew all these max weights from, 5 years of playing Classic before Call of the Wild even came out, it was easier for me to stick with metric and not have to relearn all those. Basically that. Imperial in real life is the Chad system though. I mean, who doesn't like conversions? I can't explain why. Like, I have no reason to think Imperial is better, but in my head, I'm always just like, yep, this is the one I like to use. How many great ones have you shot? Just the 2. 1 whitetail, 1 red deer. Was that a level 5 moose? It was, but he's going to troll because his max estimate was 272. I think he's going to score 270, 271. He was nice, just not nice enough. Where did he go? He was up this way. Fine, I'll go all the way down there. Find the blood. He must have gone... Either his tracks aren't showing or he went a different direction than I thought. Would have been standing right there. Ah, we were close. 264? I would have thought he'd be a little higher than that, but you never know. I don't know how much moose will typically troll by. My troll scored 273. That's pain. Being that close. 268. I think I'm going to stick by 271. What is the word when you're bilingual in units of measurement? Because that's the real male move. I can't come up with one. You could just call yourself the big unit. I think that would work good. Oh, you're good, Megan. No worries. That is a sad sight. Probably the best we've had a level 5 moose land in a long time. And we already know he's going to troll. Eh, well. 263, that's terrible. Who said 264? 268. Raymond was within 0.19. Look at my lashes. Close to the heart, might have hit it if he didn't bend over. Nearly 600 kg and trolled by more than 10. What an oof. Big unit indeed. That's what they called me in high school, me and my conversions. Not me. I'm just speaking for someone who would be bilingual in units, because I'm not. Didn't see the missing shovel one, I guessed. I think I said about it. Gotten a lot of troll me's, so I've gotten fairly familiar with them. Fair enough, fair enough. More so than I. Need you to bend over and relax. This might pinch just a little bit. What's your favorite great one? Between the two we got, I mean, it's gotta be the whitetail. The way that we encountered it. we'll probably never have an experience like that in Call of the Wild again. Just read the boss, aka Kyla, message. So, I literally said that I was like, I probably better stream at the regular time today, because, you know, I haven't streamed in a week plus, 8 days. I guess technically since the last stream would be like 10 days. But, you know, shouldn't mess up the schedule. To give the full disclosure, because I don't think I've done that. The Bladed 9, the buck that Kyla couldn't quite get a shot at last year, the same buck that walked under my stand in 2020. My brother filmed him Friday, I think. He was like 50 yards away, just a little out of bow range. He never told me like anything about that other than just that he saw it, so hopefully he didn't spook it. Then it showed up on my dad's cell cam in a similar area last night, just after last light, so there may be a little influence from that as to why the boss wants to be out there early. I still don't even know where we're gonna go. Kyla's the boss? You didn't know? How's the hunt been going? In PA, we haven't had much luck. In West Virginia, I managed to get the buck. Congrats on your buck, and thank you. Public land has not been friendly to me this year. That's something, so we have a hunt in Tennessee planned here next month, and I've never really done much public land hunting, and again, like, it's not lost on me that I've been very fortunate to be able to hunt private land, whether it's my dad's or, you know, the opportunity to hunt with Will in West Virginia or my own here. But I really want to see how we fare on public land that we don't have any experience with, because it's entirely different. Will and I talked about this. From the time that we've been too young to really know much about what we're doing, our dads have always been like, you know, set you up here, watch this direction, or be there with us to kind of, you know, help us see the deer coming. To where you kind of, through experience, know where to look for deer and know where the deer like to travel and all that. I'd like to think both of us are good enough to read sign and, you know, play stands on our own. Both of us have, I'm sure since then, shot plenty of deer that we didn't get much help with, but they were on mostly properties that we've already sort of known what the deer like to do. So I am excited to just see how we fare entirely on our own, I guess. When it comes to the Bladed 9, I call the shots. Missed anything besides the troll moose? We shot a diamond caper Kaylee that was attacking us pretty early on. I don't think we're going to go back to the lodge with it, at least right now. It was not our biggest one. I don't think we have any spaces I want to fill with it, so we'll just keep going for the next 2 minutes. Have you ever considered using a face cam? Maybe one day, I don't know. I don't think it fits Call of the Wild that well, but if I end up doing another game that it would fit better, I may do one. Just got my first 5-star whitetail on Way the Hunter, 403 pounds. Congrats, man. I do think their weight scale is a little off on Way the Hunter with some of them beefy deer. Elk seem to be fine. I think they just look up like world record weight for whitetail and mule deer and then just make 5 stars that, but when you look at them, they look like a perfectly healthy 220 to 250 pound buck, and then you claim them and it's, you know, 410 pounds. Little beefy. The only acceptable face camo for Call of the Wild is spotting great ones. DD does have an all-timer from his stream where he spotted this great one. His reaction with the face cam's top tier. Started hunting fallow deer, trying to get a diamond, and I have a question. What level should I kill if I want to try herd management? They're 1 to 5. I don't do much with herd management, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I actually don't know how people do herd management normally. Like, the way that I attempted to do it with red deer was like minimum weight estimates. So I basically would shoot everything that's not a 1 and a 2 when it comes to fallow. But I didn't do it for long enough to see any real results anyway. I might not be the best person to ask.
Just shoot them all.
Just shoot them all. I'm from PA too. I got a 12 point on my friend's land. There you go. Nice. DD had a seizure when he saw his great one whitetail. I think a lot of people had a pretty major reaction to seeing their first. My reaction was shock and like relief of being done with that grind. Because again, like it was so early on that nobody knew if what we were doing was going to work. And ultimately it did. Anyway though, as we were just talking about there, the boss says we got to wrap up the stream at 3 and head out and try to shoot a Gurr. So, with our little gold links, who looks very like calm as he's running, I think we are going to wrap this up. Good light, thanks Will. We will need it. But on that note, that's gonna do it for this stream, the early stream. But again, I always like to get to switch up the times, and you know, some people who can't make the regular times get to jump into these ones. But as always, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, thanks for all the support, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. We're actually jumping back in the Whale Hunter again and going after brown bear. Bye.